Oh, what I meant to tell you, one thing that really bothered me the most,
What was that?
coming out of war. I listened to like Judge Donahue. Boy, he said, I was over to Hawaii and my division was over there and we had our big meeting. Boy, the old fellows I've met. Then he said they're having a next one next year in St. Louis. I'm going to go there and all my old buddies are there. And I thought, geez. Then these other fellows are going to Europe and to see the places that the whole company's going to go and they're having a ball there. And I thought, what the hell's going on? And I haven't got anybody. I don't have anybody, not one person. I remember a guy, Captain Phelan, that one of the fellows, but the rest were all they were Australian, New Zealand, con men, prison, they put them back in after, or some, they were everything. And they never got friendly with anybody. So that when the war was over, I didn't have anybody. So that's one of the things I missed, there's nothing, you know. So they talk about, do you ever go to your reunions at all? Yeah, I have a reunion just myself. I checked on Phelan, found out he was somebody in Chase from Manhattan Bank, and just about figures the way he handled money. He was really something. He was a real rough crafter, but I guess he retired, and that was never heard of him anymore. And the fellow named he's the American I can remember, Williams. And I guess he got in trouble with the law out in the Pacific after there was a big ship that was going to be salvaged, you know, left there, and somehow or other he got his crew in there, men in there, and they were taking out the valuables out. There were jewels and everything in that thing, safe, and they got him. And he called me on the phone, wanted to know if I had any clout down, and I said, no, I'm all through, I'm doing nothing. You know, I can't help you. I'm sorry, Williams, you got, but by God, he must have made out all right, because about 2 years ago, he called me up from Texas.
Oh, yeah?
He said, is this Jagomina Coletta? And I said, yeah. Oh, is this, oh, gee, is this Tucker? He said, yeah. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing good. I got a couple condominiums and this. I said, oh, who did you rob this time? He said, well, you know, I'm doing good. What are you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing a little painting. He said, good, maybe I'll come up and buy one. I said, they're not for sale. Don't come up here. I didn't know him too well. He was, this Phelan, he was a real rough and a very, I don't know. I know one time we paid a collaborator working with us, and he wanted to be paid in gold coin. Well, it didn't take very much, a little bag of it, that we gave it to him. And I remember the bag. I remember we put it in a little steel clip we had on the top, and he gave it to him, and he drove away. In a little while, Phelan came out and he got in his car or vehicle he had there, and he was gone. We didn't pay him. So about late in the evening, about 7 o'clock, we were going in to eat, and I looked over where we had boxes and stuff there, and there's that bag. I know damn well that's the bag that I gave him. So I asked around, and Phelan said, oh yeah, I went and picked it up. He said, you know, he was a real rotten person. And that's all he would say. He didn't say what he did to him or what happened. Now, he was not supposed to do anything physical to anybody. You turn them over to the resistance, they'll knock them off. They do it, not us. Because if you get a price on your head on either way, you're out. They pull you right out of the gun. But he was rough. And we had a Singhalese there. His name was Riley. Red hair, a great big fellow. His mother, I think, was Irish or something. His father was a Singhalese. He was rough. And one time there was a gold shipment that we had nothing to do with it. They were moving, the Germans were moving it. And he got it. And his crew moved it out. And he was the kind that uses that big, like a machete, you know. They'd lop their heads off, you know. He was really rough and spoke very little English. So, you know, when the thing was over, they asked him about, you know, the shipment, where he put it. He didn't remember. He wouldn't give it to him. Never did.
Whatever happened to the diamonds?
The ones I had? Well, like a...
Now this is, pay attention, because there's a fortune to be made out there.
Yeah, my foot. When I had a little bag of diamonds with all that currency on the belt, by the time I got hit, blown up, I was dragging myself through the woods. I was, you know, through training, I buried everything. Everything. Even back, they sent crews looking through there, you know, looking for everything. You know, and they couldn't find the money, nothing. In fact, there was suspicion that I still had it, you know, and I didn't care one way or the other, you know, because at that time I was being pushed around and not given any responsibility. Go down there and enjoy yourself, go down until things started to happen, and they had to call me back. When I got to the time they called me from Switzerland, well, when I got there, all of my helpers were gone. I guess I mentioned that. All of these people, the priests and the young kids in the seminary, they were all gone because they declared after the Germans left. They said, hey, I was the one, I used to help doing that. I did this. When the Germans came back, they had to hide. They had to get out of there. So I'm in there with a satchel of money. French currency isn't worth a damn. So then I went to the Army depot there and I showed them the currency, and they gave me the like amount in Belgian currency, because you just show them that. They give no questions about it. So it's worth 4 times more than that. So, but I didn't know what to do. You can't use it. You can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I did send a few $1,000s home. You know, as I stopped in every time I went down one of the Army depots where they had a post office, I'd get these money orders, and they wouldn't question. I'd sort of hint that I gambled a lot. Some of these guys made a lot of money gambling over there, you know. And of course, I promptly lost all that money anyway, so it didn't pay any difference, you know. Boy, it was cold, I'm telling you. Coming over the Alps, that's why I have all this lung business. At one point, we had to bring these escapers, they were British, there were 6, and they were going to come over the Alps, and the Italian guys were going to pick them up and bring them through. We were going to meet them halfway and bring them over to Grenoble. Well, then we waited and waited, and finally this Italian guide come in. He said, they're way back, I don't know how many kilometers. He said, they didn't come where we told. They're all frozen. What are we going to do? So then we had to go back, all the way back, and get these Italian craftsmen to make some boxes. And we had to get more of them and pay for more. Lucky we had all this money. Because the Italians, you know, they want to get paid. And these are all mountain men, you know, and that's basically a bad time to go through now. I said, I got to bring them through. I got to get them out of there. So Phelan was with us at the time. And so they boxed these frozen guys up. And we started, and they gave us these masks, and they were made out of rubber, you know, the kind that pilots use, and it would stiffen up and get a lot of frost on it. You can't breathe, you know. Although the old Italian told me, he says, when you take it off, put your down in the fur in your parka and breathe. Don't breathe, you know, out in the air. Well, all I was going to do was just take it off and take a deep breath and put it back. Oh, Jesus. Like a knife stuck right in my right ear. Oh, God. I got up then. And I was starting to bleed and coughing. Said, you're going to have a lot of trouble. So I got to Grenoble, and we went to this French doctor. I wouldn't go to try to find any American. Jesus, they'd intern you, they'd take you. And he said, oh, you got a frozen frostback. You know me down here? He said, sure, I just didn't work just like that. So he said, you're always going to have a little problem there. So it didn't bother too much after that. You know, you cough a little bit. But then when I got to Belgium, it's cold again. Oh, Jesus. Everything froze up there, you know. But when the Germans were coming back, they were knocking everybody loose, tanks and everything. And then I started, when I came home, I was fine. Then I got pneumonia. I must have had pneumonia at least 15 times. I know Dr. Frisk is the first, let me listen to your lungs, because it seems that every time I saw him, I had lung trouble. So in the last few years, it hasn't been too bad. They gave me this new shot, you know. But boy, when I got it, I mean bad, you know. So, but I never reported it, you know, after all. I was doing something I shouldn't have done. And then you show how stupid you are each time, you know. It was always through stupid. I got hurt here, I got picked up here, always through overconfidence, you know. And it was the Americans that got, well, all the British picked me up a few times too, you know. But this one time, it didn't last long, but I was in civilian clothes and I had a beard, and I was a long time. I'd been in the cellar sitting there waiting for them to, you know, clear up to get the Germans out and to get, And I was hungry and thirsty as hell. Didn't want to drink the wine. You know, I didn't want to get myself befuddled, although I was tempted and, you know, just enough to get thirsty. So when I got out of there, I was getting some water, and they were rounding up, the Americans were rounding up all the people in the thing there. And so when they searched me, they found the money belt. Oh, Jesus, that's all they wanted to know. Where'd you get that from? What'd you do? You turned in some? No, you know, I tried to explain them in French, you know. So then I started speaking English. Wait a minute, who the hell are you? So they put me in the compound with the prisoners. And I knew I'd be clear when the interrogators came, you know, but you know, my God, they had hundreds up there, but he was working way down to the other end. So just by chance, he was in 1,000 million, this major went by, and I looked at him and I said, Al Hunkin, Al, hey, tarthead. Who said that? I was in there, who the hell are you? You know, that was, we called him tarthead. That was he went to school with me at Benning, you know.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of my classmates and a roommate, see? And I told him, Coletta, what the hell are you doing? No, he come over to hug me. He said, Jesus, you stink. Boy, you smell. I said, I know, I gotta have a bath. Come on. And so, of course, the GIs are guarding me. Oh boy, anything, you know. So they took me over and I got showered up and I drinking the water coming out and was thirsty. So I got cleared up there, you know, and they gave me money in my belt. I think the boys were gonna keep it, you know. There was quite a bit of money in that thing. But that was, of course, I'd have been cleared out in time, you know. But that was funny when I saw him. I couldn't believe it. He was assigned to that outfit, you know. Well, anyway. This is 100 years from now. Are you all ready already?
Wait. Say hi. Start off with a little salutation.
What's supposed to do?
Just say hi.
Hi.